Now people who have, say, mental problem, they don't know they have mental problem. Some of them, they are not at all aware of it. But then they realize they have a mental problem. A psychiatrist came to see me. Today only he was with me. He's a surgeon and he treated some mentally handicapped person. He's a psychiatrist. So he finds always his finger shakes before me. This finger and this thumb. If this is burning and this is shaking, that means there's a possession working on you. A simple thing like that. Now this person can clear it out because Sahaj Yogi takes hardly 2 minutes to clear it out. But the person who has got it can be also cleared out, because once you know what is the center, and if you know the deities whom to awaken, and if you know how to awaken them, you get it cleared out. That's how mad people can also get cured. Now here there's a madman on the road. Just now when he was speaking, I was in the room. He was saying, you must seek Christ, you must seek God, and all those things on the street. He's himself mad. You see a mad leading others into what? Lunatic asylum? He's talking like that loudly. You must seek Lord, you must seek God. How? How do you seek? Just giving lectures, seek the Lord, seek gods. Is this the way? If I say now, put your attention inside, just now you are sitting before me, a simple thing. Your attention is towards me. Now turn your attention inside. Can you do it? You may say, yes, we are doing it. That's wrong. That you are not doing at all. Something has to happen within. Unless and until something happens, your attention cannot go inside. Many people just believe into something false. Go on believing into it till they suffer from it. I have seen people who have been like that, fanatics. In their old age, they become absolutely either violent people or useless or aggressive or boring. Some of them become really half mad and some of them full mads. So believing into anything without the knowledge about it is a very blind game. Now sustenance has to be there. Now we can say in India we have Sikhism, which is a very great religion. But the people who belong to Sikhism are not supposed to drink at all. After all, Guru Nanak, when he said you are not to drink, because he knew about it, he knew what he was saying about it. He was an incarnation of the primordial being. He was the primordial master. And when he said that you should not drink, now I am told that in England the Sikh people drink more than even the Scotland people. It's more surprising. Imagine. See about Islam, because Muhammad Sahib and Nanak Sahib are the saints, same persons. He said the same thing. Moses said the same thing. Ask the Jews, what are they doing? He said strong drinks, alcohols, all must be avoided. At the time of Muhammad Sahib, there were no cigarettes. So he didn't say about cigarettes. So Muslims say, oh, cigarettes are all right, doesn't matter. You see, these things there are so many loopholes. In India, we have communities and communities like that, where you go and see, you will be amazed. Like Jains, they won't eat meat, but they will drink. Can you imagine? Drinking goes against your awareness is a fact. While Mahavira has talked about nothing but Chaitanya. Buddha never said don't eat meat. That doesn't mean that you should eat meat. But what I am saying, he never talked on that. That's not so important. He himself, Buddha himself, died because he ate a raw pork. He went to a house. You see, Buddha was a realized soul, a great personality. He was an incarnation. And he went into a house where, as a guest, suddenly he appeared there. And the person was just a hunter. And he said, oh Buddha, you come to my house, what should I give you, what should I do? He said, I have very little time, whatever you have, you give me. He said, I have killed a wild boar, but the food is still to be cooked and it will take some time. He said, all right, give me half meat. And he died of that. Even in Jainism, you'll be surprised that Neminath is the first one who was the cousin of Sri Krishna. In his marriage, there was a big function and lots of birds were brought. I mean, they were Jains, imagine. And the birds and all that, when he saw so many killed, he got a kind of a feeling against it and he said, all right, no more of this. But they have gone to another extreme of vegetarianism. I mean, they can be very cruel themselves, but they don't mind that. They can be vegetarians. To such an extent that you can't imagine. So this is the problem with the religion has been, that you go to extreme of things. First thing about religion is not to go to extremes. That's the basis of